Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. History will be made on Saturday. Iowa and Iowa State have met 68 times. But Saturday will mark the first time that these two teams meet as top 10 teams. The 10th ranked Hawkeyes are traveling to Ames to take on the 9th ranked Cyclones, the Cy-Hawk Trophy game. And guys, this is obviously without a doubt one of the top games of the week, maybe the game of the week. Not a conference game, but one that has major national, maybe even playoff implications for both of these two programs. Iowa, of course, has won 5 straight over the Cyclones, including an 18-17 victory last time here in 2019 with College Gameday in appearance. Got a little bit of deja vu here now. College Gameday is back in Ames this Saturday. Iowa State has revenge on their mind. The million-dollar question is, can they get it? So again, guys, welcome back to the Gridiron Expert, here to break down this top 10 matchup between Iowa and Iowa State. Of course, as always, make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and check out everything down in the description below. That includes, guys, our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com. Go sign up for those today. Do it right now, down in the description, over on thegridironexpert.com. All of our college football and NFL spread picks. They just came out on Wednesday. They're going to come out every Wednesday. Sign up today. It's a year-long subscription, so you don't miss out on any more of our picks and our analysis, because I promise you, you don't want to miss out on them. Some of the best in the nation for one of the lowest prices in the nation. Go check it out. Become a part of our team. You're not going to regret it. So let's break down this Cy-Hawk Trophy game, guys. Let's break down this matchup between Iowa and Iowa State. A top 10 matchup. Unbelievable. 68 times. This will be the 69th meeting on Saturday, and they've never met as top 10 teams. So history in the making already. I mean, that's good enough as it is. College Gameday back in Ames. Obviously a heated rivalry anyways. Iowa State trying to snap the 5-game losing streak. Both teams trying to get this huge quality win on their resume for the college football playoff, because both Iowa and Iowa State are legitimate college football playoff contenders. This game is huge. So let's go ahead and start breaking it down. Let's start on the offense. Let's start with Iowa. Let's start with the road team like we always do. The Hawkeyes last week decimated, annihilated. Use any adjective you want to use. They killed Indiana. Indiana was 17th, Iowa was 18th, and the Hawkeyes won 34-6. Killed them. But don't let the numbers fool you. Don't let that performance fool you. As great as that was for Iowa, it was an unbelievable performance. The 34 points were not all put up by their offense. Let's keep that in mind. Iowa had 2 pick sixes, so right there, 14 points straight from their defense. They scored 10 more points off of drives that started in Indiana territory. Whether it was from an interception, a good punt return, whatever it was, they had 10 more points scored because they started the drive on Indiana's side of the 50. Favorable field position, they got points out of it. Now, really, when you look at the numbers, the offensive performance was solid, but nothing spectacular. Iowa only had 303 yards of offense, 145 passing, 158 rushing yards. 56 of those rushing yards came on one play, like the third play of the game from Tyler Goodson. Iowa jumping out to a quick 7-0 lead. Now, I'm not trying to dog on the Hawkeyes here. The talent is there. Spencer Petras is a more than capable quarterback. He can sling it. Got to work on his accuracy a little bit, but he can sling it. He's good. Tyler Goodson, one of the best running backs in the Big Ten, had 99 yards and a touchdown last week against Indiana. The talent for Iowa is there, but how are they going to fare now against Iowa State? A good Iowa State defense, a hostile road environment. Iowa hosted that game last week in Kinnick. A lot of different factors are at play here, guys, and they're going to need a better offensive performance to beat the Cyclones. They're going to need a better performance to beat the Cyclones. They torched Indiana. Great defense. A couple big explosive plays. They're going to need a little bit more than that now to defeat Iowa State. When you look at the Cyclones, guys, their offense last week against Northern Iowa was not the best either. It wasn't. But here's the thing. We have seen continuously under Matt Campbell, Iowa State start off slow. We have seen them struggle in Week 1 games. Last week was no exception, only defeating the Panthers 16-10. They had 199 passing yards from Brock Purdy. The team had 136 rushing yards, 69 rushing yards and a touchdown from their star, Breece Hall, both of which I still believe are still Heisman Trophy contenders. I believe they're going to get the ball rolling maybe as soon as this week against the Hawkeyes. But when you look at Iowa State as a whole, guys, the offense is still there, and I believe that they own this offensive edge. They are a very strong offensive line. They've got Tariq Milton. They've got Xavier Hutchinson. They've got Charlie Kohler, maybe one of the best tight end rooms in the nation. Iowa State is loaded at just about every single position on offense, and I think you're going to see a much better performance from them now on Saturday than we saw last Saturday against Northern Iowa, because as we have repeatedly said throughout this entire week, teams tend to improve the most from week 1 to week 2. And Iowa State, again, no exception to that. We have seen them struggle in week 1, and then the very next week, they play so much better, look like a completely different team. Would not be surprised in the slightest if that's what we see on Saturday afternoon. When you take a look at the defense, guys, you can make an argument and a case that the defense is the strength for both of these teams, more so than their offense. When you look at Iowa's defense, we knew that Iowa's defense was going to be one of the best in the country. They usually are. Typically, they are one of the better defenses in the nation under Kirk Ferentz. That's just how it works for Iowa. A good smash mouth, win in the trenches, stuff the run type of defense. It works in the Big Ten. It works just against any team they play. We saw that last week on display against Indiana. I mean, again, 2 pick sixes last week for the Hawkeyes. 2 pick sixes, 3 interceptions total. Held the Hoosiers to 233 yards. Just 77 of those coming on the ground. They stuffed the run. We knew Indiana didn't have much of a run game to begin with, and Iowa made sure it stayed that way on Saturday. And my thing for Iowa in this game is if they can use the same game plan and execute it the same way like they did against Indiana, they could run away with this game. Because when we previewed Iowa and Indiana, we said, all right, Indiana has to win through the air. Because they didn't have much of a run game last year, and now they're going up against one of the best rushing defenses in the country in Iowa. They're not going to be able to run. And they didn't. So all Iowa had to do was focus solely on stopping Michael Penix in the pass. And they did that, and what happened? They got 3 interceptions. Scored 14 points off of it. So to me, really, the X factor in this game for Iowa State really is Breece Hall. Breece Hall is the X factor. He has to at least rush for maybe 100 yards in this game. It doesn't even sound like that much. But if Iowa State can maintain some sort of balance and make sure Iowa doesn't focus solely on stopping the pass, make sure they have to focus on all aspects of the offense, Iowa State has a good chance in this game. If Breece Hall gets shut down by the Hawkeyes defense, just like they did last year to many teams, just like they did last week against Indiana, it could be a long day for the Cyclones offense. So it really comes down again to how one-dimensional the Cyclones are, or really how one-dimensional the Hawkeyes make the Cyclones. That is the bigger storyline here. When you look at Iowa State, there is so much defensive experience on this team. They are loaded with talent. They are loaded with experience. 9 starters back from last year, guys. And like Iowa, they have one of the best rushing defenses in the country. Iowa State last year had the 8th ranked rushing defense in the nation. Number 1 in the Big 12, 8th ranked in the nation, allowing just 103.1 rushing yards per game. Last week against Northern Iowa, they allowed just 45 rushing yards. They did allow 230 passing yards. But the rushing number is what I'm looking at the most. Because what that also tells me is, just like we said with Iowa and their defense, Iowa State can make the Hawkeyes one-dimensional. Both these teams have phenomenal running backs in Tyler Goodson and Breece Hall. But if each of those running backs gets bottled up and made basically a non-factor, it comes down to a quarterback battle between Spencer Petras and Brock Purdy. It comes down to which team can win the game through the air. That's what it might ultimately come down to. So the question is that what we're going to see? Or is Tyler Goodson or Breece Hall going to break through? Are they going to have some big-time plays? Man, Goodson last week had a 56-yard rushing touchdown right off the bat. Put Iowa on the board early. Can Breece Hall do the same? Can Goodson do it again? Whoever wins this game is going to end up having a more balanced offensive attack than the other. So what is going to happen in this game in Ames, guys? Again, and such a historic matchup. Number 10, number 9. College Gameday back in Ames. Again, 2 years ago, Iowa State had College Gameday there. They had a chance to maybe go down there and win the game. They were trying 18-17. Iowa punched the ball away, and what happens? Iowa State touches it, muffs it, game over. Hit one of their own guys. The punt catcher, the guy that was going to return the punt returner, didn't even muff it. Bounced on the ground, popped up, hit a player, game over. Iowa State probably has been dwelling on that game and thinking on that game for the last 2 years. And now to get College Gameday back against the same opponent with even bigger stakes than there were 2 years ago, you can't help but wonder how hyped Matt Campbell has his team going into Saturday. And how much that is on their mind, thinking we have to get revenge, we have to redeem ourselves. Like we just mentioned, guys, on Saturday in Ames, I believe genuinely this is a game between the quarterbacks. I believe this is a game where neither team is able to run the ball effectively. And it could be a matter of, whichever team can crack 100 to 150 rushing yards, they win. But I don't know if either team will be able to do that because both rushing defenses are that strong, that physical, powerful. The front sevens for both are phenomenal. So at the end of the day, which quarterback steps up and makes the bigger plays? Which secondary steps up and makes the bigger play? Now, I'm going to go out there right now and say that's going to be Iowa State. That is going to be the Cyclones. I wholeheartedly believe that Iowa State owns the offensive edge in this game. I wholeheartedly believe that Brock Purdy owns the quarterback edge over Spencer Petras in this game. They own the pass-catching edge in this game. Iowa lost so many of their top pass catchers from last year. That was our major concern coming into this game, this season really, was how Spencer Petras was going to be able to build chemistry with a relatively new core of pass catchers. Now you're coming into a hostile environment in week 2 where you really didn't have to throw the ball that much last week. Are they going to be able to exploit Iowa State on their home turf? No, I don't think they are. But Brock Purdy and his experienced core of pass catchers, they can, as long as Brock Purdy takes care of the ball. We have seen him struggle with turnovers before, multi-interception games. He cannot afford that, and I don't think he will. He's a mature quarterback. He's an experienced quarterback. He's going to make good decisions in this game. And in a game that I do believe is close. The spread right now is 4.5 in favor of the Cyclones? A game that I do think is a one-possession game. Iowa State wins in Ames. Don't listen to the people that are saying Iowa is going to come in here and blow out the Cyclones because they're basing that off of what we saw last week. If you study the numbers and you really think about it, it's going to be far from that. We are in for a good one in Ames. College Game Day is going to be there. My prediction is Lee Corso is going to pick the Cyclones. I'm picking the Cyclones, and Matt Campbell's squads get revenge over Iowa. They snap their 5-game losing streak to the Hawkeyes, and the Cyclones solidify themselves as a true national contender. They're number 9 now. They will win this game. They will jump back up to number 7, maybe even higher, and they will be taken seriously as not just a contender in the Big 12, but a college football playoff contender as well. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. We've got Iowa State winning the game of the week in Ames. Redemption from 2 years ago. As always, make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. That includes our expert picks. Sign up for those right now. Do it today so you can get our week 2 picks before it's too late. And obviously, it's a year-long subscription, so you'll have access to all of our picks, both college and NFL, for the entire season. So make sure to do that. Go sign up today. The link down in the description below over on thegridironexpert.com. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on The Gridiron Expert.